nacional da Austrália. Vamos agora para a apresentação do hino nacional da Grã-Bretanha.
Hello everybody and welcome to the final day of action here at the IWBF U23 World Championships, and this is the bronze medal game between two nations with a historic sporting history that rivals the infamous South American rivalry between Brazil and Argentina as Great Britain face off against Australia. Great Britain, who suffered heartbreak at the hands of Turkey in the last four yesterday, aimed for a podium spot against an Aussie spinner side who lost out to Germany in the semis and will want to claim their sixth bronze medal. Hello everyone, John Hobbs here on hand, and I'm delighted to be joined for the first time in this tournament. Of course, we were on two courts. It's all on one court today, so I am joined by Jerry Smith. And Jerry, these two teams, as mentioned, historic sporting rivalry. Any sport you look at across the world, these two teams have a huge rivalry. And in basketball, it's no different, and these two teams playing it out for the bronze medal here today.
Thanks, John. Yes, absolutely. These two great sporting nations, we've seen it time and time again, and obviously from an IWBF perspective, absolutely no different. Exciting stuff about it to unfold in front of us.
It will be an incredible game unfolding before our very eyes. Great Britain, of course, heartbreak yesterday against Turkey, a really damaging defeat. But Great Britain have to dust themselves down, don't they, and just get this performance in, get a bronze medal. That is the goal for Adeorik Bemi's side here today.
Absolutely, John. You know, the Great Britain team were absolutely gutted at the end of that game yesterday, and a lot of the players were inconsolable. But the best way to get over a defeat is to come back and get a big win. And obviously Australia are hoping that that's not going to be the case today. So it's all to play for.
And on the flip side, Australia, who won at the death really against Italy in the quarterfinals. No such joy against Germany. They were outmatched, overpowered by a strong Germany team. For Australia, it's almost the carbon copy, isn't it? They'll be looking to bounce back and claim a sixth bronze medal here at the Under-23 Worlds. So, starting fives for the two teams, starting with Great Britain, Tom Harvey, Charlie McIntyre, Jack Long, Ads Tadblest and Oscar Knight. For Australia, it is Jalen Brown, Ethan Laird, Kane Downey, Jordan Moritz and Alexander Blackmore. Our three officials assigned this contest from Taipei, Czechia, and from Argentina, Christian Colombati of Argentina, Hue Shufei of Taipei, and Tomasz Paja of Czechia. There you see the Aussie spinners really proud to be here in this bronze medal game as they aim for a 6th bronze medal, and that's quite an incredible statistic. Overall, Australia the most successful side in these World Championships at under 23 level. They still haven't won a gold medal, but they have 5 bronze medals and a potential for a 6th bronze medal in 8 World Championships appearances. That's something not to be sniffed at, isn't it?
Absolutely, John. You know, they've got an incredible program down under, and a big shout out to Lee Gooding and Thomas Kyle out in Australia that are amongst all the other technical staff there, and they just can't seem to get it over the line and pick up the gold, but I'm sure in the not too distant future that will be the case.
As the starting fives come out, Great Britain looking for a bronze medal to cap off their 8-day odyssey here in Brazil. And the ball is up, and Charlie McIntyre will get the first possession on the board for Great Britain. Thank you so very, very much for joining us on the IWBF YouTube channel, wherever you are. Bronze medal action here in Sao Paulo as Long goes to the hoop and puts in the first score for Great Britain. Here is Laird for Australia. Laird, who started his career being trained by Nick Such. Here is Brown, 5 to shoot for Australia. Brown still has it. Moritz has to put something up. Good defense from Charlie McIntyre, and it will stay with GB. And there's 0 on the shot clock, and it's now going to be a shot clock violation. Referees weren't even sure that was a shot clock violation right there.
Yeah, I think that caught us all unawares. Didn't see that ourselves, and Great Britain will be happy with that defensive set there. Noise
is incredible. You can barely hear yourself talk, let alone think here in Sao Paulo as McIntyre hits a 2.
Australia would want to look to Jalen Brown coming into this game averaging 21 points.
Here is Laird. Laird to Brown. There is the danger man, and he puts it in. And Jalen Brown, who struggled in the first game against Germany, 3 of 15 from the floor, then exploded for 32 points, 23 rebounds against Brazil off the mark here. Here is McIntyre. Finds Knight under the hoop. And Oscar Knight will head to the stripe. And we talk about the danger of Charlie McIntyre as we see the replay. We will see the replay now. No, we won't. As Oscar Knight goes line. But we talk about the danger of Charlie McIntyre, of Jack Long. Oscar Knight, an absolutely lethal offensive threat, leading the way for Great Britain in points here in these World Championships.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. I mean, getting to play with the likes of Charlie McIntyre, who I think is probably the standout player for the Great Britain side, but Oscar Knight gets on with it, and very exciting one for the future.
Well, both teams have made their first 3 field goals at the moment, as the noise just reverberating around the Paralympic Training Centre as McIntyre, who started hot yesterday against Turkey, fakes his way to the cup, kicks it out, Long in rhythm, 2 to shoot, Long a 2.
So a quick start here from the Great Britain side. Australia will want to try and take their opportunities.
Certainly a few threat to neutralise for the spinners in this contest. Likewise for Great Britain, with Brown and Laird on the floor as a whistle has gone. And it will stay with the spinners. 7-2 in favour of Great Britain in the early going in the bronze medal game. Of course, following on from this game, it'll be the big one, the final, the gold medal game between Germany and Turkey. Here is Laird on the ball, marked by Harvey. Great defence from Tom Harvey on one of Australia's brightest prospects. Here is Knight, here is Long, sweeps it wide, McIntyre collects. Long just about gets it, 8 to shoot for Great Britain, an off-balance shot, and it's taken by Brown. First rebound for Jaylen Brown in this one. And Brown will slow it down. Here is Laird. Laird, Blackmore blocked by McIntyre, who swipes it out of bounds.
Yeah, it was difficult there for Blackmore. Definite size mismatch, and Great Britain swatting the danger away.
Around about 3 minutes played here in the first period. Noise coming from both the Great Britain and the Australia fans. Laird laces a two.
That will settle some of the Australian nerves as the spectators in the Paralympic Centre here go crazy.
Here is McIntyre. Long. Back to McIntyre. Tagrest to Long. 7 to shoot. Long in and out. And rebounded by Brown. And now the spinners can come up floor. Trailing by 2. 3 minutes and a bit of change played in the first period. Here is Laird. Moritz. Moritz all the time in the world, but doesn't hit the shot with that one. And a foul is called at mid-court as Oscar Knight hits the deck. And a foul called on Jaylen Brown. That'll be his first foul. We see it on the replay here. Brown there just colliding with Oscar Knight. Here is Knight. To McIntyre. McIntyre averaging 12 points, 14 assists in these World Championships, leading the way in assists. Over 100 for McIntyre, who gets the rebound, puts it up for Long and scores. Assist number 102 in these World Championships for Charlie McIntyre. An incredible feat.
Absolutely, John. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. Just a cool customer under pressure and pulling the strings for Great Britain, and that stat tells the true story.
And here is Long, and Moritz can't catch him. 10 to 5, 12 to 5, excuse me, in favour of Great Britain. In fact, make that 11 to 5. I know what the score is.
It's been a long week.
It has. Here is Laird. Laird has the ball still. Brown along the baseline, over Tagrest, fades away, and McIntyre collects. McIntyre finds Oscar Knight, loses the ball, Laird picks it up. Over the halfway point here in the first quarter, and Great Britain lead 11 to 5. Laird has the ball, putting the moves on McIntyre. And he sweeps it wide. It's welcomed by Brown. 6 on the shot clock for the spinners. Brown being marked by Harvey. Brown launches. And McIntyre receives it. Good defense along the perimeter from Great Britain. At the other end, Oscar Knight. And a timeout has been called by coach Brett Stivners. And Great Britain in the ascendancy, up by 8.
Solid defence on that last defensive set there from Australia. The Great Britain wouldn't let them through, and turnover from Jaylen Brown. And yeah, I think the defence of Great Britain is already starting to take its toll on the Australians.
And right now, Great Britain, 6 of 9 from the field. Lots for them to be proud about right now as they look to bounce back from an agonising heartbreak yesterday evening here in Sao Paulo against Turkey. And Australia a little slow to get off the mark right now. Ethan Laird with 3 points, but Australia just shooting 33% from the floor right now. Brown averaging 21 points, 13 boards in these World Championships. Ethan Laird, 16 points, 8 assists. They really need those two to get going, don't they? And Ethan Laird, coincidentally, 1 point shy of joining Jaylen Brown on 100 points for these World Championships.
Great Britain will be aware of that, and they already have targeted those two players, and so far have managed to keep the two of them quiet.
Here is Laird for Australia. Both teams yet to make a substitution in the first quarter. 4:13 to play. Laird looking for Moritz, instead loses the ball. 5 to shoot for Australia. Great defense from McIntyre. Laird chucks it up, and Tagrest with the rebound.
Great defensive play there from Charlie McIntyre.
And a good bit of defense there from Ethan Laird at the other end as McIntyre was looking for Long.
Laird looking a little bit frustrated at the moment. Really, Charlie McIntyre got him in his pocket at the moment.
Well, Ethan Laird certainly a player who wears his heart on his sleeve, isn't he? He's a very emotional young man. He's an exceptional talent. As Jordan Moritz coming back onto the floor, his wheel just needed to be adjusted. As Long will restart it. Here is Tagrest. McIntyre on the ball. McIntyre a 3, and that's short, but he claims his own rebound. And Long from the elbow, and he can't bank it home, and Moritz with the rebound. Here is Laird. Almost carefully going up floor. Laird still has it, gives it up to Brown. Brown, no hesitation. And it's rebounded by Long.
Jaylen Brown looking very frustrated at the moment, struggling to get into the game.
Australia really struggling from the floor in this one. They're now 2 of 8 from the field. Oscar Knight agonisingly falls out, and Brown collects his 3rd rebound of the contest. Only has 2 points at the moment as the Australia number 3. Here is Laird. 2:49 to play in the first period. Laird behind the back. Downing wasn't expecting it. Swiped from him by McIntyre. And here comes McIntyre on the break for Great Britain. McIntyre. Again, just methodical, dumps it off to Knight. Knight off the glass. And it's a double-digit lead for Great Britain with 2:19 to play in the first. Ethan Laird on the ball. Blackmore coming to the basket, but Brown instead gets it. Brown putting the moves on Knight, gets past him, dumps it off to Downing. Downing gets the friendly roll. Much needed score for Australia.
Absolutely needed that conversion, and just need to keep holding on to the coattails of the Great Britain team at the moment.
Reece Higgins and Mitchell Bond will check in momentarily for Australia. Here is Jack Long, 8 to shoot. McIntyre has the ball, finds a bit of room, finds Knight inside, and that's just too easy. And that's what we've seen all tournament long, the duo of McIntyre and Oscar Knight.
And Knight's certainly not going to miss in those opportunities, punishing Australia for allowing him into the zone.
Shooting 61% from the floor in these World Championships, Oscar Knight. As Brown doesn't respond, and it's rebounded by McIntyre.
Jaylen Brown having a bit of a frustrating first period here, just not able to convert for the Aussies.
6th rebound for McIntyre in this game, and there is Knight again as he pumps his fist, and Great Britain are racing away from the spinners right now with under a minute to play.
You feel Australia need to convert here.
Here is Laird. Risky pass, but it finds Brown over tug rest, and that goes, and that's, as you say, Jerry, a much needed score.
And that'll do Jaylen Brown the world of good. Hopefully build up his confidence as we move towards the end of this period.
Here is McIntyre on the ball, 23 seconds to play. What a dump off pass from McIntyre, but Harvey can't finish. And good Brown is fouled by Oscar Knight.
Good work there by Moritz, just putting Harvey under pressure.
16.6 to play in the first period, and it's been a bit chippy in this first 10 minutes as Kane Downing heads to the bench. And Jordan Moritz also comes out as Mitchell Bond, the hero of the quarter-final against Italy, and Reece Higgins check in for the first time. But it's been very chippy, very physical, pretty much like every occasion when Great Britain and Australia play in any sport, as Brown banks in a 2.
Brown starting to build in confidence. Took a long time to get into the game, and that will be the end of the first period.
Absolutely, end of the first quarter. Great Britain have had a double-digit lead, but it's been trimmed down slightly by this Australia team. But Great Britain, a very solid 60% from the floor lead at the end of one. There are the Australian fans. They've been amazing throughout these entire World Championships. Almost a bit shy towards the camera. That's not like the Aussies. No. But they trail Great Britain 19-11 at the end of the first quarter. Australia just 36% from the floor, Jerry. And for Jaylen Brown and Ethan Laird, just 7 points between them at the moment, and a lot more offense needed from those two especially.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to what I said earlier. Jaylen Brown took a long time to find his rhythm. It looks like he has found it at last, and Australia definitely look to him to continue that run, and Ethan Laird to pull the strings for the Rollers.
There you see the official game ball of these IWBF Under-23 World Championships from Moulton. Of course, our official wheelchair provider RGK, Tissot, our other sponsors alongside our wonderful local organising committee, CBBC Brazil, and of course the Brazilian Paralympic Committee, bringing you what has been an unforgettable World Championships here in Brazil, the second time these incredible events have been hosted in this wonderful country.
Absolutely, John. The work that has gone on behind the scenes from the local organising committee has been phenomenal. Everything has run smoothly throughout the week, and all credit must go to the CBBC for an incredible tournament, and excitement builds as we get going here in this second period.
As we get set to start the second period, Alex Blackmore, who's actually got to write an essay about his experience here in Brazil for his high school project. Still only 16 years of age, and he's got a lot of great work ahead of him. What an experience he's had as he starts the second period. Here is Mitchell Bond for Australia. Here is Brown. Brown puts it up, and it can't fall. Jack Long with the rebound.
Big learning experience for Blackmore, and what a phenomenal experience to be playing in a bronze final.
Here is Knight, finds McIntyre. Brown tracks down. Long has it. Harvey stolen by Laird. Behind the back pass, a little bit of razzle-dazzle from Ethan Laird, and Brown will slow it down. Here is Brown on the ball. Laird lines up a three and buries one.
And that'll do Ethan Laird's confidence a world of difference. And all of a sudden, Australia clawing their way back into the contest.
And Ethan Laird, the second Australia player to score over 100 points in these under-23 World Championships. Long to respond, it's short, and Brown collects. 5-point game, foul is called, and an unsportsmanlike foul is called against Great Britain. It'll be on McIntyre. As we look at the replay here, and McIntyre really no attempt to play the ball. And our referee from Czechia, Tomáš Paja, in good position. So Jaylen Brown will get foul shots and Australia will get the possession.
Brown will want to make sure here. Short on the first attempt.
Jaylen Brown, who's had an incredible under-23 World Championships, makes the second. That incredible double-double, 32 points, 23 rebounds, one of the standout showings in these World Championships as Joel Clifton and Rowan Olsen check in. Here is Laird. As Brown collects, gives it up to Bond. Bond, the midi, is money.
Good work there by Mitchell Bond. Also, as you said earlier, hero of the win against the Italians. And really putting his name on the contest early on for him.
Here is McIntyre. McIntyre dumps it off to Harvey. Brown to meet him, and Brown puts him off just enough and gets the rebound. And Jaylen Brown right now with his 6th rebound.
Bit of a momentum shift here at the moment. Australia doing well to fight their way back to within 2. So Great Britain just letting Australia back into the contest.
Here is Brown gliding to the rack, and he gets it to go. And the game is tied at 19. And a timeout called by Coach Orebemi.
Great comeback from Australia. As we see Jaylen Brown straight to the hoop, gets it up, and of course that will count.
Early doors in the second period, and what a start to this second quarter from the Aussies. An 8-0 run to start, and Coach Orebemi calling a timeout. 7:46 to play in the second period of our bronze medal contest. And Jerry, you know, these two teams reaching this stage, of course, they'll both wanted to be in the gold medal game. They've got to settle for bronze. But it's been an incredible tournament for both of these great nations, hasn't it? And it culminates in the bronze medal game, and these two teams will have memories that will last a lifetime. Of course, for Great Britain, many of whom will try and get onto the senior stage, as well as the Aussies. Of course, Jaylen Brown and Ethan Laird already at the senior level, and there's so many more that will reach that. There's great potential, isn't there?
Absolutely, you know, and we look to the younger players in the lineups. Obviously, the likes of Brown and Laird will probably not feature at the next one, but a couple of 16-year-old, 15-year-olds coming through the ranks, and exciting future for this age group in the World Championships.
Here is Clifton, who had 12 points in the, or averages 12 points, excuse me, off the bench. Only started one of Great Britain's 7 games before today. Of course, he's on the bench to start, but he's on the floor now. Here is Brown. Brown, a 3, splash, boom. And Australia now out to a 3-point lead.
Jaylen Brown taking his scoring up to 9 in the contest.
Clifton looking to respond, and he can't get it to fall. Brown rebounds. The roar is real from the Spinners fans here in Sao Paulo. Brown gliding to the hoop, instead comes out and gives it up to Laird. Laird, he'll launch, and that's no good, and it's rebounded by Alex Wilson. Right now, Great Britain with their backs against the wall in this second period as an 11-0 run has really damaged their credentials at the moment. Still a long way to go, but right now, just like we saw against Turkey, their backs are against the wall, and it's a real test of their character.
Yeah, again, they're going to look to McIntyre, who under normal circumstances is the most composed player that you've seen in this competition, but it just doesn't seem to be working for them at the moment.
And McIntyre misses a 2 along the baseline as Clifton retrieves. Clifton puts it up, and that's short as well. And Great Britain, at the moment, 9 of 22 from the floor.
Australia have definitely shut up the doors and allowing them into the paint. And the minute Oscar Knight gets into the paint, you are in trouble. So good work from the Australians on the defensive end.
And Great Britain will need to go tonight a little bit more. They're settling at the moment for a few mid-range shots that are just not falling for them. Here is Brown, finds Bond. Bond lets fly, and that's no good, and it's retrieved by Joel Clifton. Man who plays for the London Titans in the British Premier Division. Here is McIntyre. Knight has the ball. That's where he likes it, and it's in and out. Good look, though, for Oscar Knight, and a good look there for Great Britain offensively.
But again, Australia happy to let the shots come from far, and they're picking the rebounds up, and Jaylen Brown will try and further extend that lead.
And here is Brown, that's off the back iron, and Clifton again with the rebound. That's his second of the contest, and a foul is called. I think that's on Jaylen Brown, and that'll be his second foul. That's the one thing about the Aussies, in particular Laird and Brown, they get into foul trouble frequently, and GB will be aware of that fact. And Great Britain on the ball. Here is McIntyre. Again, Oscar Knight way out of position, out towards almost towards the 3-point line. As another whistle has gone, and Great Britain will pick up the ball. And just a brief break in play. But a good start to this second quarter from the Aussie spinners. Great Britain not at the races here with 5 minutes played in the half. Here is McIntyre, launches, and again it's off.
Just not landing for Great Britain at the moment, and Australia definitely with the better start to this second period.
Well, Australia are almost letting Great Britain shoot right now. They're not going inside the GB. Brown to the rack.
Excellent work there from Jaylen Brown, and he takes Australia up to 24, 4:34 to play here in this half.
5-point lead for Australia, and once again, Great Britain, just like yesterday against Turkey, backs against the wall. Another miss from mid-range, this time by Knight.
And again, Australia not allowing Great Britain into the paint.
And an offensive foul, a reprieve there for Great Britain. Ethan Laird can't believe it.
Foul scored against Mitchell Bond.
Of course, Mitchell Bond, their hero, as we said earlier, the quarter-final win against Italy with that buzzer beater, an incredible moment for him, as Henley Kavanagh and George Gray will check in for GB momentarily. Here is McIntyre. George Gray, a great inside presence, as is Kavanagh. But again, Great Britain just settling for mid-range shots right now.
Very static on the offensive side of the court are Great Britain. And Jaylen Brown looking to rub further salt into the wounds.
Here is Laird. Brown back to Laird. Laird is open, a 3. No, that's off the back iron, but again, Australia will claim the ball.
3.5 to play in the half, John.
And Great Britain have still yet to score in this second period, and Australia will go to the stripe. A 13-0 run by Australia as big group substitution for Great Britain. George Gray, Tom Harvey, Henley Kavanagh and Ollie Porter come into the ball game. As Adiorbemi looking to switch up the rotation and see if the second string can bring Great Britain into this. Jaylen Brown at the line.
Something needed to be done, and time will tell if those substitutions will pay dividend for Great Britain.
Well, Jaylen Brown misses the first. Jaylen Brown averaging 21 points, 13 boards in these World Championships. Had 14 points, 9 rebounds against Germany yesterday in the semi-final. Misses them both. Here is Henley Kavanagh. Kavanagh, here is Harvey. They go inside Great Britain. Kavanagh, and he'll put it up, he'll put it in, and a much needed score for Great Britain. And that's what happens when you go inside.
Exactly, and the change paying immediate dividends for Great Britain.
Henley Kavanagh doing his damage inside, and you've got, 3 players for Great Britain that can do the damage inside. You've got Oscar Knight, George Gray and Henley Kavanagh on the floor. So a wise move there from coach Adiorbemi as Great Britain off the mark to start the second, but there is 3:12 to play as Kavanagh rattles in the extra free throw, and it's a 2-point game. But even though Great Britain have been held scoreless up until that point, only a 1-possession game. Here is Laird. Finds Brown. Again, Laird and Brown connecting, but Brown can't get the shot to fall. Here is Harvey.
It's one of those games, John, that every opportunity needs to be taken, and Great Britain.
Here is Knight. He can't get that shot to fall. It's rebounded by Brown. It's collected by Laird. 2:34 to play. And Jaylen Brown has a first half double-double for Australia. 13 points and now 11 rebounds. Looking to put the moves on Gray. 5 to shoot. Here is Laird. Good defense from Porter. Laird fading away. And a great defense from Ollie Porter. The ball is loose. Here is Kavanagh. Kavanagh now to push. Goes down the lane, almost off balance, but he gets it to go. And Henley Kavanagh off the bench making an impact.
Great performance here by the bench players of Great Britain. Bringing Great Britain back into the contest. And Jaylen Brown will look to...
And Brown going to the cup. And right now, this has been a fascinating encounter. Everything we hoped from a bronze medal game. Well, if you're a neutral anyway, as Rhys Higgins hits the deck.
Well, John, if we look at today's action, every one of the games has been a bit of a nail-biter, squeaky bum time, as they say.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we saw the hosts, Brazil, claim 7th spot. USA claiming 5th. Here is Harvey, and the rebound taken by Laird. Only his second field goal. What a pass! Brown,
great.
And a foul is called. Stiffners wants unsportsmanlike. And referee Hyu Fei of Taipei telling him to calm down. Let's look at the replay of this. Ethan Laird, what a pass that is. And the foul there, Knight with the foul. And Jaylen Brown will head to the line, but what about that pass from Laird to free Jaylen Brown?
John, phenomenal pass. He's done it a few times in some of the previous games, and definitely one of the better parts of his arsenal.
Well, Jaylen Brown, it's no secret he's the main offensive threat for this Australia side. 36 points, 11 rebounds in the Asia-Oceania final last year against Japan. And has been an offensive juggernaut for these spinners, hasn't he?
one would wonder if he wasn't here in this game, where there would be Australia. Phenomenal player.
He has 16 for Australia right now, and the Aussies lead by 2. Here is Knight from 6 feet.
That's where Oscar Knight wants to be, and makes Australia pay for allowing him to get into the paint, and an offensive foul is going to go against Australia's number 14 there.
Reece Higgins, yeah. That's his first foul. Oscar Knight, by the way, with that basket, the first GB player into double figures. He has 11.
Brown will take some time on the bench, and he'll be replaced by Reece Higgins.
Calls for let's go GB, calls for let's go Australia right now. Both fans in incredible voice here in Sao Paulo, final minute of the half. George Gray under the hoop, he's dangerous from there and he'll go to the line. George Gray has played a few minutes off the bench here and there for these World Championships, but he has been an incredible performer in spurts for this Great Britain side, George Gray.
And that's what you need in a big game like this. You need contributions from the bench, and as you said, he's done that throughout the tournament, and it looks like straight into the action he's doing the same now.
Won a national championship for his domestic side, the Jaguars, out of Nottinghamshire in the Premier Division in the United Kingdom. And at the stripe for GB, and he strings the second. And Great Britain now back in the lead in a first half where the lead has ping-ponged around the place. And another offensive foul against Australia.
That one called on Reece Higgins. So Australian coach Brett Stibners will be a little bit frustrated that the the Spinners have let the GB side back into the contest.
46.5 to play in the half. It's been a very physical, very demanding first 20 minutes here in the bronze medal game. In our final day of action at the Under-23 World Championships, Oscar Knight gets the friendly roll, and GB up 3, final 30 seconds of the half.
Ethan Laird will want to make something happen here for the Australians.
You see there Oscar Knight with the shot. There is Laird, puts it up, and that goes out of bounds and over the backboard, and with 14.8 to play and the shot clock off, Great Britain, you've got to believe, should just slow it down and go for the last shot.
I was about to say, Ethan Laird there had seemed like he rushed that shot a little bit. He could have controlled it a bit longer. But yes, Great Britain should go for the final play here.
Well, GB was struggling a little bit in the second period as Knight misses the 2. As the seconds tick down for the half, Ethan Laird won't even bother to get a shot off. And that's half time here in our bronze medal game. Great Britain lead 29-26. Oscar Knight 13 points to lead the way. GB shooting 40% from the floor. Jaylen Brown, a first half double-double, 15 points, 12 rebounds, and they're also shooting at around 40%. It's a three-point game, but it's so even at every facet of the statistics.
Yeah, I think honours even in that second period. Australia came out with more intensity early on, but then Great Britain managed, as soon as the coach made the change, the momentum switched back to the Great Britain side, all to play for in the second half.
Well, we'll leave you with the best moments of the half, and it's Great Britain 29, Australia 26. At the break, we'll be back in roughly 12 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Paralympico Sports Complex here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. A tightly contested bronze medal game. Great Britain with a slender 29-26 lead over Australia. John Hobbs, Jerry Smith on hand, bringing you the action here for the third and fourth quarter. And it's been tightly contested, hasn't it? Great Britain had that little funk, didn't they, midway through the half, where they were just solely reliant on mid-range shots. Australia took full advantage with a 12-0 run, but Great Britain now have found their groove, and their second string has really done them proud towards the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, John. The second stringers came on and made the difference in that second quarter. Australia letting it slip a little bit. They will look to bounce back hard here in the start of the third period, and I always feel that in a close game like that, the start of the third can dictate how the game's going to go.
Charlie McIntyre, just 2 points right now. However, he has 6 rebounds, 6 assists, something we've been saying all World Championship long. One of the best playmakers, if not the best playmaker in these World Championships. Oscar Knight leads the way for GB with 13. Jack Long adding 8 to the tally. Jaylen Brown with a double-double in the first half, 16 points, 12 boards, something we've been accustomed to really throughout these World Championships as we get set to start what will be a very interesting third quarter. There is our referee from Czechia looking serious. That doesn't happen often, does it?
No, not at all. And referee Thomas Paya, one of the top IWBF referees around. So good level of officiating here in these World Championships.
But there's a lot to play for, as said, for these two teams going into the second half. A bronze medal on the line and a place in the podium right now.
An eerie silence comes over the Paralympic training facility. I'm sure that'll change very quickly.
And there you go. It's not often that you can hear a pin drop in here. We've been here for, what, the best part of 10 days. It's been absolutely raucous as Harvey misses the two. Of course, the actual action has been going on. We're in day 8. Here is Brown. Brown putting the moves on Knight. Glides to the basket and kicks it out. Laird, shot clock in single figures for Australia. Moritz chucks up a 2. That's no good. And Knight collects.
Brown probably had a good position to open the scoring there for Australia in the second half.
And Kavanagh inside, and Great Britain going inside to great effect this time again. And now they lead 31-26. Brown has the ball, dispossessed by Harvey. And here come Great Britain, early doors in the third period of this bronze medal contest. Here is Harvey. Harvey gliding his way to the basket, finds Knight. Knight double-teamed. Harvey with 8 to shoot. Kavanagh, shot clock is winding down. Henley Kavanagh puts it up, knocks it down. The lefty from Manchester puts it in, and Great Britain now out to a 33-26 advantage. Great Britain's biggest lead has been 12 points thus far in this game. Here is Laird. Laird calls for calm. Laird throws up a long 2, and that's no good, and it's rebounded by Knight. And now Australia are now playing the mid-range, long-range game to no effect, and Great Britain are going inside. Here is Knight. Knight to the basket.
Coach Brett Stimpners will call for the timeout for the Spinners, and a much-needed timeout to stop the momentum that Great Britain have found early on in this third period.
And it's exactly what we saw with Great Britain not making their mid-range shots count, not going inside. But now Australia are doing the same, and Great Britain have learned from that mistake. They're now going inside, and they're scoring at will on Australia. They lead by 9.
Australia will definitely need to stop the flow of points now, and good timing there on that timeout call. They'll need to come back onto the court, get some points on the board, but also shut up the zone.
Of course, following on from this game, we will have the gold medal clash, the big one, Turkey and Germany, an all-European final, and that should be an absolutely incredible spectacle. Of course, Germany and Turkey have already played in the group phase, haven't they, Jerry? And Germany came out 81-60 victors in that contest, but Turkey are certainly aiming to get revenge and bounce back from their silver medal finish in the last World Championships in Thailand.
Yeah, absolutely, and Germany, the only undefeated side left in this competition. But as we've thought, some of these countries we thought would win games convincingly, and the tide has been turned. So Ethan led now for Australia.
It's been an extremely competitive World Championships. Kane Downey to the hoop, doesn't get it to fall, but gets it at the second attempt. Here is Harvey. Kavanagh in space, goes under the hoop, puts it up, puts it in. Henley Kavanagh having an incredible game off the bench. He has 11 points, 5 of 5 shooting.
Absolutely phenomenal performance there from Kavanagh.
Man who spent last season with the Manchester Revolution, a really talented player. As Brown puts it up, doesn't go, it's rebounded by Knight. And Great Britain looking to extend their lead to double figures again. Gray. Knight puts it up, that's no good, that's way off. And led with the rebound. Great Britain shooting 44% from the field, a real improvement on the opening stage of the second quarter, and George Gray is all alone, and he'll dump it off instead to Knight, and an assist for George Gray.
Great work there by the two of them. Ethan led a frustrated figure at the moment for the Australians. He turned the ball over and allowed Great Britain to extend that lead up.
It's an 11-point lead for Great Britain. Ethan led with a circus shot, but it doesn't go, but he is fouled. And Ethan led to the line. Great Britain have outscored Australia 11-2 in this third period. As Ethan led will go to the line for Australia. Averaged 8 points at the last Under-23 World Championships in Thailand, makes the first. And another player who's been outstanding, averaging 16 points and 8 assists a game in these World Championships.
Yeah, most of the teams in this competition have had 2 or 3 standout performers, and when you go back and look at all the stats throughout the tournament, the same names will show. And Ethan led, Jaylen Brown for the Australians are those 2 players.
Struggled though yesterday in the semi-final against Germany, 4 of 14 from the floor. He did pick up 7 rebounds and 4 assists, as that pass from Knight was risky and it went straight to Kane Downey. And here is Laird. 5:47 to play in the third. Laird now being marked by Porter. And here is Brown. Brown goes past Kavanagh. Harvey for company. Brown a little off balance, and the rebound again taken by Oscar Knight. 6 rebounds for Knight to go with 17. Here is Gray. Gray dumps it off to Kavanagh. And Kavanagh will slow it. Here is Knight. Australia packing the paint right now. Knight does break free, and an offensive foul has been called. It's on Oscar Knight. And that'll be his second foul of the contest, as Mitchell Bond will check in for Kane Downey. And a timeout will be called by Great Britain with 5:09 to play. Great Britain up by 10 right now, but it's not been comfortable, has it, for Great Britain? You can sense Australia still have more left in the tank, and that will all set up to be a thrilling fourth quarter, but we still have 5 minutes and 9 to play in the third.
Yeah, Great Britain, 10-point lead. It just feels like Australia are hanging on, not letting go, and again, I think a very crucial passage of play coming up right now. If Australia could just keep their points ticking over, there's still every opportunity for them to go in and steal the win.
Well, big welcome to everyone joining us on the IWBF YouTube channel. Great to have you all on board here on the final day of action here at the under 23 World Championships. And it's been a wonderful tournament, hasn't it? I know we've raved about how incredible it's been, but also we've got to give a shout out to our incredible local organising committee here in CBBC Brazil and all the volunteers who have made this event so special.
100%, and you know, I mentioned it earlier, everything has run smoothly, and maybe not a popular shout out, but we got to shout out to the officials that have done a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some young officials coming through, getting great experience.
Yeah, majority from the IWBF Americas and a few from Europe having their exams here in Brazil, which is great to see, as you mentioned, as Brown misses from the baseline. 4:50 to play in the third. Gray was all alone on the wing. Instead, it goes to Harvey. There is Gray. Gray is fouled. And he'll get it to go. That will count, and a foul for George Gray.
That is exactly what I was saying. If those start dropping for GB and Australia unable to pull back, it could be a long game for Australia.
George Gray to the line, and a player who really takes incredible care of himself, regularly at home, regularly down the gym, working out, practicing, honing his craft. A man who was at the University of Worcester his final year. Of course, as mentioned, he won a national championship with his hometown club, the Jaguars, but he misses the free throw. But Great Britain up 41-29. Here is Jalen Brown. Australia certainly not out of this. Here is Mitchell Bond. Laird sweeps it wide to Brown. Brown puts up a three. That's way off. As Oscar Knight is fouled by Mitchell Bond. And Mitchell Bond, a player who was, as mentioned, first mentored by Richard Coleman, who was a coach known for developing future stars in the sport in Australia. He's got to be proud of how Mitchell Bond has performed in these World Championships.
Yeah, I mean, Mitchell Bond, as you said, the hero in the quarter-final win against the Italians, and definitely a player that we will see in the future for the senior teams.
Now, there's a discussion here about whether that last play should be an unsportsmanlike. They're going to check the monitors. Of course, our three officials today, well, our two officials there looking at the screen right now. Christian Colombati of Argentina, Tomasz Paja of Czechia, Hugh Chaffee of Taipei is our third official. Every time the referees go to the monitor, the Great Britain fans loudly chanting for VAR. Of course, that's if you're a football fan back in the United Kingdom, a very sensitive subject, shall we say?
Yes.
Let's
leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that, yeah.
A United supporter and a Liverpool supporter sitting in the commentary booth.
Shh. They're not meant to know that. As the two officials having a look at the monitor, 4:14 to play, 41-29 in favour of Great Britain. And an unsportsmanlike foul is called. So Great Britain will get the free throws and they will get possession.
Good use of the video review there by the Great Britain coaching staff.
Oscar Knight now to the line. And he misses the resulting free throw. He'll get another bite of the cherry. Oscar Knight again having a great game, 17 points, 8 boards. Had 17 points, 14 rebounds against Turkey in the semi-final, but struggled a little bit from the field, 8 of 19. Great Britain shot 35% from the floor in that game. Here is Harvey. Knight now on the ball, back to Harvey. Harvey can shoot them from there, decides not to go for it. Moritz closing him down. He'll go for the shot with around 2 to shoot, and Gray with the offensive board, and Great Britain reset. Knight in his favourite position.
Australia now under the cosh. They really do need to make something happen here on the offensive side of the court.
Laird driving to the dome, and he's met by Gray. 3:33 to play in the third, and Great Britain right at the summit. As Jaylen Brown goes inside, rattles it in, and a foul.
As you said earlier, John, it's just one of those games where just when you think a team's going to run away with it, fight back straight away. Jaylen Brown will look to take Australia to 31 points.
And into the game for the first time, Liam Barker, as Oscar Knight takes a seat. Liam Barker didn't see any court time in the semi-final against Turkey. A really talented young player who was so distraught over the loss to Turkey. The entire Great Britain team were. We saw it after the game, and timeout has been called by Great Britain with 3:26 to play, 43 to 31 to play. And yeah, Great Britain firmly in the ascendancy, but as we said, do not count Australia out. This was a team that trailed by 5 with 2 minutes to play in the quarterfinal against Italy, and they got the win from the jaws of defeat, and they're here to this point.
Yeah, it's with 3:26 to play. They just hanging on, and it just takes a little mini run that they're talking about right now in the huddle. And who knows, Australia could come back and create a bit of an upset.
3:26 to play in the third period. And Jerry there just letting the microphone drop. I'm not going to say a word about that, but I think you all heard it.
Apologies for that. You're losing a bit of sound in the ears.
As we get back into play, of course, Germany and Turkey, the gold medal game follows on from this bronze medal encounter, a podium finish for one of these two proud nations. These two nations with an incredible sporting history that rivals that of Brazil and Argentina here in South America. Brown at the line, in and out with the resulting shot. And Great Britain up 12. Here is Harvey. Barker. First shot, and it's short. Ball goes out of bounds. It will stay with Great Britain. Great Britain right now shooting 47% from the field. Here is a Harvey. He'll line one up and he'll knock one down. 3 minutes to play. Here we see at the replay, Harvey all the time in the world. Had time to even set the ball around and put it in. Here is Laird. 2:46 to play. Brown has it. Brown on 18 points, 14 boards. Lobs it wide. Bond to the basket, and the runner is money.
Good work there by Bond. Australia just hanging on once again.
Trailing by double figures, the Aussies. Here is Harvey. Again, just all the time in the world, this time off the back iron. That's deflected and out of bounds. It came off Blackmore last. An interesting story about Alexander Blackmore, who before these World Championships had a full head of hair, but was shaved off as a prank by his Australian teammates before they arrived here in Brazil, as Charlie McIntyre comes in and Tom Harvey takes a break. But he likes the hairdo, and that's what matters the most. As McIntyre onto the ball, 9 seconds to shoot. McIntyre misses the 2. Final 2 minutes of the third. Here is Laird. Laird sees a lane right down Main Street, blows the layup. Gray can't hang on, and Australia will get it back with 12 on the shot clock, 1:52 to play.
Laird would be very frustrated with himself for not taking that opportunity.
Here is Brown. Laird has the ball. Laird on the wing, 5 to shoot. Gray again. Great defense from Gray. Laird though breaks free. Shot clock at, well, it was literally on 7/10 of a second when Laird put that up and it went in. 10-point game, 1:28 to play in the third. Here is McIntyre. McIntyre sets himself, puts it up, knocks it down. Charlie McIntyre with just his second field goal.
Wow.
But he's had a great game on the assist front, has 6 assists right now, and the leading assist maker in these World Championships doing the business. As a foul is called on Liam Barker, and that'll be his first foul. Liam Barker, of course, will be playing in Spain this season for Getafe. Couple of seasons with the Reading Rockets. His father, Grant, is the head coach of the Rockets, and he is in the crowd here today. Laird, 6 to shoot. Laird throws up a 3, and that's short, and it's welcomed in by Kavanagh. Only his third rebound to go with 11 points on a flawless 5-for-5 shooting. Gray in space, the lefty, puts it up, and that's no good, and Laird collects the rebound. This has been better though from Great Britain as Laird goes to the basket, puts it in. As Great Britain outscoring Australia 20-9 or 20-11 now in this third period, final seconds. Here is McIntyre, methodical. Here is Barker, he can hit him from there, puts it up, and it's long. And that ends the third quarter, and Great Britain in the ascendancy, 10 minutes away from a gold medal, but Australia threatening right now. But a great third period for Adi Origbemi's side.
Just to correct you there, bronze medal there, John. Let's not get too excited.
My apologies.
But yes, Great Britain had a fantastic third period, and Australia with it all to do in the fourth.
Oscar Knight leading the way, 19.60% shooting for Oscar Knight, a player who has shot 61% before today. As we see there is the medals, and there are the bronze medal trophy, and the right there, either Great Britain or Australia will pick that up. Here come the end of today. There's the gold medal and the trophy that will be held aloft by either Germany or Turkey here tonight in Sao Paulo. Big welcome to everyone joining us on the IWBF YouTube channel. John Hobbs and Jerry Smith keeping you company for the fourth and final quarter. Great Britain lead 47-37. Oscar Knight leading the way for Great Britain. 19 points, 8 boards. Jaylen Brown has 18 points, 14 boards for the Spinners. As you see there, the Union Jacks around Sao Paulo representing the players. See Ollie Porter, Liam Barker, Henley Kavanagh, Jack Long, Alex Wilson, and Tom Harvey. Charlie McIntyre's is there as well, but just out of the picture as the Australian Wallaby mascot is in good voice here as well in Sao Paulo. The Australians have been wonderful supporters. Most of them are the parents and relatives of these fine elite athletes on the floor, and they would love to see their nation pick up their 6th bronze medal, but they've got some work to do right now. Here is Brown, Laird, Brown puts it in, the Brisbane native. He has 20.
Just what Australia needed to get us started here in this fourth. They'll look to shut up shop in the defensive end.
McIntyre finds Barker. Barker, no hesitation. First field goal for Liam Barker in this one. Here it is Laird. Brown has it, fading away. That's great defense as well from Barker at the other end. And McIntyre just about collects off Blackmore, and here is Barker. Barker now to Gray in his favourite spot, but flat, gets his own rebound, and it banks out. Barker to pick up the loose pieces, and Great Britain are in a groove.
And Liam Barker having an absolute humdinger of a game, taking his opportunity on the court. As you said, John, no time on the court yesterday. Maybe the coach should have given him some time.
Well, we're not coaches, are we? Here is Laird. Early doors here in the fourth quarter. Mitchell Bond, and Mitchell Bond gets the friendly roll.
I was going to say, they call us armchair coaches there, John. A few of them around.
Here is McIntyre. 2 minutes played in the fourth. And an offensive foul has been called. It's on George Gray. And Australia down by 10. Get the ball back. That's 2 fouls on Gray.
Excitement is brewing here in the Paralympic training facility. Australia just won't go away from Great Britain.
This has been an incredible final day so far. We saw Japan and the United States collect victories here, and now it's the fight for bronze, and right now Laird attacking the cup and over Barker. Here come the spinners.
Buckle up, folks, this one's going to the wire.
Single digit game. McIntyre from the elbow finds a lane, finds Barker. Barker off the back iron, rebounded Porter. Here is Kavanagh. 10 to shoot, Kavanagh off the window. No, it's tipped and it's taken by Bond. Here comes Ethan Laird. Liam Barker will not catch him. And a timeout for Great Britain.
Wow. Great fight back from the Australians.
Oh, in fact, no, it's not. It's a technical foul. It's on Ethan Laird. The GB players, as well as us, thought that was a timeout call, but in fact, it was a technical foul on Ethan Laird.
I mean, stupidity from Ethan Laird. I mean, what was the need? He is a very emotional player, as you said earlier, but those kind of ill-disciplined moments can cost your side.
And McIntyre hits the resulting free throw. He has 5 points. And both sets of players, including us, thought that was a timeout called. But the referees had to waive it and actually say it was a technical foul on Ethan Laird for whatever he said to the officials following that score. Here is McIntyre. McIntyre 3. No, it grazes the rim and out.
Coach Brett Stibner's just having a word there with Ethan Laird, telling him to settle it down. Cannot afford to give any opportunities to Great Britain, especially with McIntyre so prolific from the line.
Here is Laird. Kicks it out. Brown, a three. Splash!
Wow, we are in for a pulsating final second period of this period.
A 4-point game, and the Aussies are in good voice. The roof coming unglued here in Sao Paulo. Here is McIntyre. Finds Gray. 6 to shoot for GB. Gray still has it. McIntyre has to put it up. Barker collects. Barker puts it in.
What composure by Charlie McIntyre. Under pressure with the shot clock, and calmly plays it to Barker. Barker does well.
Great off-ball movement as well from Barker. Here is Laird to the basket. Slashes past Barker, and a foul is called. Ethan Laird again just slashing his way to the basket, finding the smallest slither of room, going to the cup. And another foul on Liam Barker, and he'll take a breather, and Oscar Knight will check in for Great Britain. 5:54 remaining, and it's a close one here in the bronze medal contest. And Mitchell Bond all alone. Great Britain fell asleep there defensively.
Yeah, just lack of concentration, and Charlie McIntyre will try and hit back immediately.
Oscar Knight and a foul! Oscar Knight under the hoop. He was fouled. We see it on the replay here. And a foul on Ethan Laird.
Ethan Laird.
I think it's on Ethan Laird. It is. It's his 4th foul.
Laird indicating to the bench that they should go to the video review, but that would be a waste of time.
7-point lead for Great Britain. Here is Laird, now in foul trouble. Laird at the wing. Here is Brown. Great spell this from Great Britain. Bond puts in a three. Australia will not go away. We see it on the replay here. Over Porter. All string. McIntyre. And McIntyre's shot is no good. It's rebounded by Brown. 15 boards for Jaylen Brown to go with 23.
Just under 5 left in this game. Ethan Laird.
Incredible contest here for the bronze medal. Brown, it goes out to Laird. He'll fire a three and nail another one. It's a 1-point game in Sao Paulo.
What a comeback by Australia.
They trailed by as many as 14. More adversity for Great Britain. How will they respond? McIntyre puts it up, knocks it down, big score. Charlie McIntyre.
Charlie McIntyre with great composure there. But on the other end of the court,
7 points for McIntyre to go with 9 assists. Laird finds Brown. Catch and shoot for Mitchell Bond, in and out. And here is Oscar Knight. Great Britain shooting 44% from the floor. Knight misses the two. It's picked up. 16 rebounds for Brown. Brown now accelerating, looking to push. Almost ran out of room. He does run out of room. It'll be a Great Britain ball. 10 turnovers now for Australia. An incredible contest unfolding before our very eyes here in South America. McIntyre, beautiful pass to Knight, sets himself. Great defense from the Aussies, but Knight too strong.
Once again, Charlie McIntyre pulling the strings, Knight finishing for the...
And a whistle has gone. Brown and Gray on the deck. that'll go against George Gray, it will. That'll be, I think, his third foul. Yes, it is, as we see the replay there. 6 and 1, half a dozen of the other, as they say. A fantastic game to settle the bronze between two nations with an epic sporting rivalry. Here is Laird, Brown, and an offensive foul is called away from the ball.
Mitchell Bond, the guilty party.
Yeah, it's on Mitchell Bond. That's his fourth foul now.
A couple of Australian players in foul trouble. Still 3 minutes to play.
And you've got to believe that Great Britain, this only favours GB, as they have a 5-point lead, 2:50 to play. The bronze at stake. McIntyre puts it up, doesn't get the drop, and it's rebounded by Brown.
Brown looking to Ethan Laird.
Ethan Laird on the ball, and he'll slow it down. Time, there's still a lot of time to play as Brown goes from 7 feet and gets the friendly drop. And it's back to a one-possession game, 3-point lead for Great Britain. Final
day action, bringing phenomenal wheelchair basketball here in Sao Paulo.
Knight was going to the basket and it agonizingly fell out. And instead he'll go to the line for two. Australia now with no more fouls to give, with 2:13 to play. And got to make your free throws at this time, this important, critical stage of the contest, as Oscar Knight misses the first free throw. Oscar Knight now 2 of 6 from the charity stripe here in this one. And even in the break of play, you still see some of the players managing a smile, even in this crucial, important stage, as Charlie McIntyre just shared a quick joke, and the referees are just going to go to the monitors. So the last play was an Australian foul. Oscar Knight going to the line. So the foul, yeah, it's on Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown is on 4 fouls now. So Ethan Laird and Jaylen Brown both on 4 fouls for Australia. 2:13 to play in this one. Oscar Knight splits the free throws and it's a 4-point game. How's your heart rate at home, folks? Whether you're in United Kingdom or Australia. Laird launches. Back irons the 3, collected by McIntyre. 7 boards to go with 7 points, 10 assists.
And Great Britain will want to manage the shot clock here.
McIntyre misses the 2. Here is Brown. All kinds of room. Laird gives it up to Bond, who puts it up and in and out. And a technical foul has been called again. Who is it on this time? I think that's on George Gray, I think it is, yeah. And that's George Gray's 4th foul. So obviously after that shot, George Gray must have said something to the officials.
It was almost as if it, as the shot went up,
yeah,
the referee was already about to call that technical, so I'm not sure what the actual situation was.
Uncharacteristic for George Gray, usually so cool, calm and collected, one of the most humble, nicest people you're ever likely to speak to, but emotions just getting the better of him with 1:34 to play in this one. And now the referee's just having another conversation. And our official, Thomas Pyer, just having a quick chat with Great Britain coach Adeora Gbemi. It's a tense last 1 minute and 34 seconds here in the bronze medal game. Laird has it. Here is Bond. Shot clock in single figures for the Aussies. Brown in no man's land. He's got to put it up. Puts up a shot and it's no good. The ball will go out of bounds and Great Britain get the ball.
Australia will defend high with the press.
Timeout has been called in this incredible contest. Tell you at this rate, Turkey and Germany have got a tough act to follow.
It's been one game after the other.
Exactly, it has, hasn't it? We saw Japan beat, Japan, yes, beats Brazil. Well, actually, the host nation beat Brazil earlier on. I'll get that right eventually. Brazil beat Japan. It's been such an incredible game. It's been a long week. Cut me some slack. And of course, the United States of America getting the win over Italy. And now we've got another epic on our hands. It's been a fantastic day to conclude what has been a magical 8 days of action here. And we've still got Turkey and Germany to come. What a final that's going to be.
Yeah, that promises to be an absolute humdinger. You know, the Turkey side upsetting Great Britain last night, and Germany just been a dominant force in Pool A, obviously beating Turkey in the pool stage play. So we are definitely in for another exciting encounter, we hope. You never know.
Still got a long way to go in this one. Australia's certainly not out of this contest. Joel Clifton inserted into the ball game for Great Britain as George Gray heads to the bench. Here is Clifton on the ball. Here is McIntyre. And Great Britain looking to run the clock. 5 to shoot. Clifton a 2. And that could be a potential dagger basket and a potential bronze winning basket for GB. But Australia will not go away just yet. Laird, Brown, inside, Bond puts it in.
Keeps them just about there. The Australians, 4-point game, 47 to play. It's all about timeout strategies and.
McIntyre checks out. Well, at least we think so. Jack Long is preparing to come in. Now he'll come in. Charlie McIntyre heads to the bench. Turnover, Clifton now can lead the charge. Here is Long, Long puts it in! Jack Long inside. Fast break basketball, breathtaking, devastating from GB. Ethan Laird back to the basket. Here is Mitchell Bond, throws it up, no good. The ball will go out of bounds. Great Britain will get the ball. And we are looking set for a European podium here in South America. A foul is called, 17.3 on the clock. And now Australia foul, they're in the penalty. And Kane Downing will check in for Australia for the final 17 seconds. Mitchell Bond fouls out. A fantastic performance from Mitchell Bond in these World Championships, no doubt about it. 13 points, 5 rebounds in this game. But Australia will miss out on a podium finish. Only the third time in these World Championships Australia will not be on the podium. And Great Britain, albeit in a slightly delayed manner, as they're now in the penalty. And Oscar Knight really holding his left elbow. He's in a great amount of pain right now. Oscar Knight, who plays his basketball in the northwest of Spain for Vigo. As Jaylen Brown will go to the line. And that's, well, that didn't even hit the rim, so Great Britain will get the ball. And a coach, Oribemi, did call timeout, but he's now waved it off. He was actually looking to see how many timeouts he had, so a bit of confusion here between the GB coach and the table. And our referee from Taipei, Hyo Shun-fei, giving Oribemi a warning here for that. They're really going at it there. And Hyo Shun-fei has actually said, you want the timeout, you're going to have a timeout. So Ali Oribemi, who cancelled his timeout, has been told, no, you're going to have the timeout. 14.4 on the clock. And Ali Oribemi just learning that you don't cross the referee from Taipei.
Yeah, Shufei, one of the more experienced referees in world wheelchair basketball.
Yeah.
Not going to let any coach get one over on her.
Well, it's great to have you all on board the IWBF YouTube channel, and a very special welcome who's been watching on Canada's Ibrahim Odza, 15 years of age, Jerry. Ibrahim Odza, what a tournament that guy has had, and such a great future ahead of him, and he's watching on, and it's great to have him on board, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic tournament there by Ibrahim Odza, and I know Bo Hedges will be looking at his place now, saying maybe it's time I can take a break now, and promising youngster coming through to take over from the legend Bo Hedges.
Of course, not just Bo Hedges, but of course you've got Vincent Dallaire, Pat Anderson. Pat Anderson, of course, recently retired from the sport. A lot of incredible players. Bo Hedges, what a great ambassador he has been as well to the Canadian wheelchair basketball. Canada, of course, hosting the World Championships next year in Ottawa. Shot clock is off. Australia concede, and Great Britain will be on the podium. They win the bronze here in Sao Paulo, 67-70, and Great Britain defiantly bounce back from defeat against Turkey. They secure the bronze. Congratulations to Great Britain. What an incredible tournament they have had. Certainly one of the most exciting teams to watch here in Brazil.
Absolutely. Consolation bronze for Great Britain after the heartbreak yesterday in the semi-finals. But a big congratulations to the Australians.
Yeah.
Australia have, they came into this game, and most of the talk around the stadium coming into this game is that Great Britain would run away with the victory. So fantastic performance on court by the young Australians.
And exactly. We've got to add, along with GB, a fantastic performance and an incredible tournament for Australia. They started with a heavy defeat against Germany, but they bounced back, didn't they? And Jaylen Brown with 25 points, 18 rebounds and 7 assists. Certainly one of the stars of the show. A great performance from him. Henley Kavanagh with 11 points, 5 of 6 off the bench. Great Britain were led by 26 and 9 from Oscar Knight. Charlie McIntyre, 10 or more assists in all games played here in Brazil. He'll finish with 7 points, 7 boards and 12 assists. But congratulations to Great Britain. They have claimed the bronze here in Sao Paulo. But join us, because coming up next, it's that time. It's the gold medal game between Germany and Turkey. Join myself and Jerry for that one. But for now, I'm John Hobbs, and we'll see you very, very soon.